Hey y'all, welcome back to the ranch. I'm Jared Paul, and this is going to be part 2 of the money tree clump style that's getting declumped. So I've got a bunch of ideas. We took a little day break, went to the state park and got in some exercise, got Stella some fresh air, and I really lucked out because we had some torrential rains this week, and I brought a couple of cups, filled them up with the tiny multicolored river pebbles that were left on the beach because the sand was washed down or washed away, and the state park is closed through September, first week in September, so they're not dredging up the sand and making basically covers up all the sand castles and holes that kids dug and stuff like that. They'll do that once a week. So it really makes the river pebbles kind of mix along with the really fine ground sand. So I'm sure there's a little bit of sand in there, but I'm really psyched about this medium that I'm going to get to top dress with. So that's going to be the upgrade. I'm not using that Kokedama moss. It's long gone and I just didn't like it. And then those rocks, there was way too much glue on it. I didn't like the idea of that either, so I tossed those. I did preserve that polished rock from episode 1 if you saw it. So I'm thinking the polished rock, the frog, and some sort of funky design with these trees. I really want them to be styled like when you go to the Caribbean or down in Gulf of Mexico or Florida, and there's wild clumps of palm trees and they're growing every which way, reaching for the sun. Love that. So these make me really think of that. So that's what's coming up on today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai. Steady. All right, so coming in, I'll show you. I was planning on gathering like one thing sand and then one thing stones. I wasn't expecting to be able to find this many stones with all these different colors. Let's see. Yeah, it's not bad. Angle. And then I think when I watered it in for the first time, the actual other sand kind of like basically just like the larger experiment, the beach. When I water it in, the finer sand will go to the bottom, leaving the decorative nice little top there. As you know, when you have very light bonsai soil, you go to water it right in the beginning with a repotting, it wants to go flying out of the pot. So usually you have to at least put in a bigger stone to water onto and let it flow into it. Or you could top dress, which can get expensive. But when, let's do the zoomed in one. But when you have a beach where I'm going to literally go get buckets, I should be good with top dressing stuff for years to come. Okay. That looks good. So, yes. So my wife and I took a little run, alternating holding Stella, walking around outside. It was nice and sunny today. Nice exercise, a little walk run. Alright. So I got a little base layer of soil in here already. So I was playing with the angle of this one at the sink. So before, basically, I knew I wasn't going to be able to do the one video justice with the amount of memory I have on my phone. So I said, you know what? Let me just let these soak in the sink. And as I was doing that, I was checking the angle on this one. And I want to make it more drastic. And I want to accentuate this. It's almost like it's a little palm tree, you know, the ones that are either dead on their side or they're growing so to the side you could pause on the beach and take a seat on it, you know, chillax, take in some ocean weather. I broke one of these, but whatever. So I think what I'm actually decided that I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get 3 cuttings out of these trees and do 2 clumps of 3 trees, and then this one by itself. So we're just going to have to play with this guy's positioning. I'm going to get a little water because I'm going to mist them, and we'll get started.